what do I really want for myself?
Because you brought things to the table that I never thought that I could get out of a relationship.
We keep it real over
Yeah.
here.
What do you believe the purpose of marriage is? Welcome to Pillow Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
With the
Winstons. Hey. Welcome to Pillow Talk with the Winstons. Episode 9.
Episode 9.
We are here again.
Yes, we are.
And today's topic is, why did I get married? Why did I get married?
Why did you get married?
Why did I get married? So yeah, that's the question of the day.
And we're going to answer that.
And why not only
we are going to pillow talk about why we got married.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're joking, but we're being serious and funny at the same time, because why did I get married is a common topic or question that we would ask each other, and sometimes you ask yourself, and
sometimes you have to remind yourself.
That is a very good.
Sometimes you have to just,
That's true. Yeah.
Think about, why did I get married?
Yeah, because sometimes you don't really know why, but there are so many good benefits.
Amazing.
There's amazing benefits and awesome highs and even lows.
Some lows.
But I think the ultimate thing that we're trying to say is that we enjoy this journey we call marriage. So, and it ain't perfect, but it's great.
Absolutely.
So,
and sometimes it's the lows that make the highs so good, and it's what makes it count.
Yeah, and it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
And you feel like you got someone who can get in the trenches with you.
Yeah.
When stuff gets real.
That is
You're not by yourself.
That's real.
So
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into today's topic, we have to introduce ourselves. I always introduce my co-host every single episode we do this. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, we have Delana Winston, a.k.a. Miss Fit, a.k.a. my bae, a.k.a. my boo, a.k.a. my soulmate for life, a.k.a. my Pillow Talk partner. Give it up.
Thank you, sweetie, for that warm welcome and intro.
Absolutely.
Everybody, please give it up for my amazing, my wonderful, my sexy co-host, my husband, my Pillow Talk partner, Kevin. That's what I call you. Kevin.
I have a lot of AKs. I have a lot of nicknames, and she chooses to call me Kevin.
Yeah, I call you Kevin like when I'm serious.
Yeah.
We're having a serious conversation, but usually it's like, babe.
Yeah, that's true. That's when you just want to, be fun.
Yeah.
And have fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
Yeah, so let's talk about why we got married.
So why did we get married? Before we jump into our topic, we have Misfits Fact Check. I did it too fast this time, but hey.
You did, but it's okay.
So, babe, what do we have today?
So what we have today is, I did my research and I wanted to see what people say about the reasons that they got married. Okay, so first of all, 90% of adults who got married said that they did it for love, which is valid.
Okay, that is valid.
So 90% got married for love. 66% got married because they wanted companionship.
Just need a death partner.
Right. They just need someone to ride it out with them.
Yeah.
63% wanted to make a formal commitment. Okay. So they wanted, they wanted that thing to be real.
Yeah, they need that piece of paper that says.
Exactly.
It's official.
He's mine for life. 31% wanted to have children someday.
That does make sense.
Yeah. 13% said they did it because they wanted it to make it financially sound. So 10% said it was convenient, and 6% of married people said their partner was pregnant. So they wanted to get married for that reason.
I feel like that number's off, but because we all know some people just get married after all of a sudden they come out with the news and like, I was pregnant. And then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and I feel like that 6%, those are the people that were not necessarily in love.
True. Circumstantial.
It was circumstantial, so they said, hey, shotgun wedding.
Love it. Love it.
But so that is what the research says by Pew Research Center.
Love it.
And I feel like that's definitely valid, especially love, because for me, that's like the prerequisite. You gotta be in love first.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense to get married and you're not in love. I just feel like that just makes it a lot harder because marriage has its own challenges in itself. And you don't need to try to figure out if you love someone when you get married.
That's true. But what about the show that we watch, Married at First Sight?
True.
Because those people are definitely
Yeah.
not in love when they get married. You're marrying a stranger.
And you're marrying and, asking someone to marry you, to spend the rest of your life with you, who you just talked to and connected emotionally, and you never seen them.
You've never seen them.
Yeah. So there's no physical. There's just straight up love at first sight.
I could never do that.
No, no.
I mean, especially now, but
I mean, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I could never do it in general. I mean, for a show, whether for money, yeah, I just feel like that would be. And I'm a hopeless romantic, so I would try something like that. I don't think I could. Married. No, I don't think I could do that.
No, I could absolutely not. I would lose my mind.
Like the day you meet them, all of a sudden you don't know.
You are getting married.
Yeah,
you are marrying a stranger.
Yeah, and the physical is not. Yeah. So that just has to be there. So why do couples get married? And we talked about the stats.
Yes.
So let's talk about the benefits as well. We did say some people do it for financial stability. Some people do it for love. Some people just do it to have companionship. But there was like
what stuck out for you, like out of all those, like when you got married again?
Yeah, so
you want to talk about?
So the first time I got married was it was circumstantial because I believed that that's what I should do because everyone else, where I was in that particular time of my life, everybody else was kind of just, doing that. It was like, you're becoming a man and this is what you should do. So I didn't necessarily 100% marry just for love, but I also didn't marry. I think I married for a little bit more of like companionship and maybe a little bit of stability too. Like, because I was, in LA just kind of gigging and there was a stable partner available. And I felt like that was something that could help me. And so I think that was the first time.
Did you feel like you were ready?
No, I don't think I was ready because there were enough signs. And I was thinking about these different signs as I was doing some research, and it was something that I looked up. And it talks about like, these are 5 key reasons that can help you know if you should marry your partner. You deeply trust them. You fight fair. You spent a lot of time together. A lot is not always the case. You know this person on a deeper level and you want the same things. So I feel about out of those 5, this second time I got married because of love, because I was truly like, I found my soulmate. But, out of these 5 things, I believe that there's like 2 that we didn't necessarily spend enough time on, which was spent We spent a lot of time together, but there was I didn't get to know you on a deeper
definitely
level.
spent a lot of time together. I think
Yeah.
it was just the length of the time.
True. It was in a
Wasn't-
short period of time, but it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was like aggressive in that short period of time. It was very fast. So, but I deeply felt like I deeply trust you,
There's
and
definitely trust there for
and
sure.
we did fight fair. When we
I
did,
agree with that.
I had my own ways of dealing with things, but we ultimately fought fair because I think we understood our boundaries and the things that we would lay out.
No, I totally agree with that.
So
I think for me, when I look at the list of things that, the stats mention, love for sure. Love is just like, that's a no-brainer.
yeah,
But I think the thing that stood out to me was that making a formal commitment. Because,
making it real.
yeah, making it real. And I think also doing the right thing. Because you mentioned that the first marriage, you felt like you wanted to do the right thing. For me, I felt like as we spent more time together, grew closer together, and then eventually started cohabitating, then I was just like, okay, wait, where is this going?
Where's this going?
What are we doing?
And in that moment, I remember you kind of like
I was like, pause,
you put some brakes down.
pause.
Like, okay, so we're about to go on this level. You're going to be living. We're going to be living. What's happening next? And I'm not just saying like tomorrow, but I need a definite. Yeah, you needed a timeline.
Well, and so I think I wasn't trying to rush it.
No, you wasn't rushing it, but you was
I
letting
was
me
like,
know I'm not about to
Wait
be.
a minute, what's happening here?
Yeah,
Because this train is like moving.
yeah,
This train is moving fast.
yeah.
And so I was kind of like, okay, let's just pause and let's talk about this. Like
Where are we
where is
going?
this going? What does this look like? Am I ready? Are you really ready?
That is a good one. Yeah,
Yeah. What does marriage look like for us?
true.
And so I think we did have to get on the same page
Yeah,
with that. But I definitely felt like it was the right thing to do. I've always wanted to be married.
yeah.
I just wanted it to be the right circumstances and the right person. Because my number one thing is that I don't want to be married and then end up divorced.
Amen.
And
Speaking from
I-
someone who was
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No. And on top of that, I felt like, I had commitment issues.
Hey, it happens. It totally happens.
So yeah, definitely commitment issues. So I'm just like, I just want to make sure that,
We're doing this for the right thing.
for the right reasons. And this is what I really want to do. Because once I do commit, I have a hard time committing to things, but once I do commit, like I'm in it 120%
That is true.
wholeheartedly.
And it takes a lot for you to, like you said, to get started. But once you do, it's kind of like game on.
Oh, it's on.
You're not
I'm
about
all
to-
in. We're all in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, talking about the statistics that you laid out
Yes.
in our facts and the benefits, let's talk about why we got married. Because we did talk about the statistics of what the world says, but why did we get married?
Why did we get married? I have to go back to that, to that time in my life. Well, I mean,
2019, 2020.
2019. And I definitely feel like we had conversations about it. It's not something that was just like a surprise.
That's true.
We definitely talked about like what we wanted because, at the stage that we were in our life, it's just like we're not young. Like we're not in our early 20s. Like you've been through this before.
We were vets. We were 35.
No, you were. Well, yeah, we were, but you were, yes.
I was a vet.
definitely you were more experienced than I was.
Yeah. You was a rookie. You was like, okay,
I was definitely
so
a rookie
what is, you didn't know what to expect.
at all.
And, I believe that we created a great foundation to kind of have friendship,
We did.
oneness, and just We wanted something that was like unique to us.
Yeah.
Everything that we do and everything that we did, we wanted to make sure there was something that we did together, like for the first time, or it was a good experience or whatever it was. So we just made everything an experience. And I felt like that was like a telltale sign for me that it was going to get real, and it was something that I wanted to take to that next level.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like everything just came together with you. It was just so natural. It just felt so organic. Nothing was ever forced.
True.
Yeah, we just usually were like all on this. We're on the same page when it came to things.
Yeah. And and we both understood that we both knew what we wanted, but we also kind of like was, I guess, prematurely outlining our potential vision for what we wanted our marriage life to look like. We would talk about what we would love to have, and you know, we was in that apartment. We were talking about the house that we live in right now, the rooms, the boys having their rooms, the being able to decorate and having functions, and me having an area outside. And we really put a manifestation plan together by just organically loving each other and laying the foundation. But most importantly, we prayed, we fasted, and we really asked God, and we went before God. And we was like, look, we want to be intentional about doing this the right way.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think the only thing we could have done maybe a little bit earlier was start our premarital counseling. But COVID was happening too. So we had used the app, and we tried to utilize that as an option.
Right.
And slowly but surely, we we were exposed, and those expectations were exploded.
We were. But just for people who don't know, like the backstory.
Yeah.
So we met like the end of 2018. You coming, going through a separation and divorce.
Yeah.
So we went on our first date the end of 2018. 2019, we just
hit the ground running.
we hit the ground running. Like it was like one date, and then it was just like the rest is history.
It got accelerated. Like the Love Jones just kicked in, and I was just like,
it really did.
I was just like, let's go. It's
like when people say that we were like inseparable, like literally we were inseparable.
From working out to dates to out to eat,
yoga to
traveling, church. Yeah, whatever we could do together, we did it.
Yeah.
And that was a good benefit in creating that foundation. But I believe, the part where I was like, we got exposed, or we slowly but surely we found out that wasn't 100% healthy.
Yeah, I think the expectations were just a little bit unrealistic.
Yeah.
And especially for me, because I knew what I wanted, I knew what I didn't want, but I didn't really know. I didn't know what to expect in a marriage because I'd never been married.
True.
So I didn't know what that was like. So trying to like merge our lives together.
Yeah.
And then blend a family on top of that.
Yeah, that's a whole different dynamic. And I think for me, I was trying to overcompensate for things that I might not have done in my past. Like, I wanted to make sure that I was more connected, that I was intentional about listening, and, just really being just a man that kind of was not just a man who just said, I love you, but showed that I cared and showed that I was gentle and patient and kind and sweet and all of those things. So I wanted to really take my time and do that. So that's one thing I did take my time and do.
You were extremely patient.
I took my time doing that.
Extremely patient with me because I feel like I had like a lot of reserves, and rightfully so.
No, you did. Absolutely.
Yeah, rightfully so, because I just wanted to make sure this was the right step, the right move. And I feel like, just looking back and just thinking about everything and like where we are, like I could not be happier. No, things are not perfect.
Yeah.
But like, I literally could not be happier.
I love that. I couldn't either.
do.
I couldn't either. There's days where I sit back and I look at what we've built, literally, and then I look at what we have been able to accomplish as a couple.
Yeah.
And that is, surpassed my expectations when it comes to that. There's a saying somebody says, I'm trying to remember which mentor or somebody told me, they said that men could be ready and it not be the right one. Women could have the right one and it be the wrong time.
The wrong timing. Yeah.
It was the right time for you.
Yes.
And I believe I was the right one, but I'm not going to lie. I don't think it was the right timing for me in the beginning because I was coming out of something. I was ready, but I didn't know if it was the right time because I was just like, am I going too fast? Am I doing this? Am I doing? But because of how it aligned and like you said, it wasn't forced. I believe that was like, it was destined. So if you're listening to this, we were talking about why did we get married? Why did I get married? Why do couples get married? And, we're talking about the benefits and just our views on marriage and what it took for us to get to a point where we are in a place where we are married now. We are almost on our year 2. I know to a lot of people that might sound like we're rookies, but we have done the work to lay a nice amount of foundation. The work isn't done, but we have been doing and we have done the work.
Yeah, because a lot of people probably look at us like, what do y'all know? Y'all only been married.
Have y'all even been through anything? And you know what's crazy? It's funny how people measure a relationship based off of what somebody goes through.
Or how long.
Just
how long you've been in the marriage.
And I have to be honest with you. You cannot judge someone's relationship based on situations that have happened in yours. So, for example, if you're a person who infidelity is very prominent in your relationship and you look at ours and you say, well, they haven't been through cheating. And I'm like, you don't have to. Because we've already laid the road that once that happens, neither one of us is going to. Yeah, that's just a deal breaker for both of us, especially for you.
Yeah, especially for me. But I feel like you shouldn't judge someone else's marriage, period, because you don't know what you might go through a year from now, 2 years from now.
That's true. Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
You don't know what's going to come up.
That is good.
You don't know how you're going to handle it. So it's easy to say what you would do or what you wouldn't do. But you're not in that situation, and it's not your commitment. It's not a commitment that you have with this person.
That is good.
And it's not, it's not your situation. So
yeah. And God gives certain people certain things to handle. And you could be a person in this position, and we're handling blending a family and co-parenting and all of those things, but you could be in that same position and you might not be able to handle that.
That's very true.
To one that might be like, oh, that's easy, but you just don't know unless you're in it.
Yeah. And it's easy to judge.
Yeah.
When you're not walking in those shoes.
Because I've done it myself. I'm like, how is this person still with this person and they cheated and they did this?
So have I.
But you just don't know what people are willing to or what they can handle.
Yeah.
And forgiveness is everything. So,
and especially single people, because I was one of the people like being single, being like, girl, I would not put up with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a lot of things that I won't put up with. But
exactly.
Now that I'm married, I'm just like,
what are you willing?
And not only that, but I get it. Like that's a different commitment that you have.
That's
when
true.
you make a vow and a commitment to your partner before God.
Yeah.
So you can't say what you want and will do.
Yeah, because you never know. You
just
might
never know.
Easy
to say that when you're single. So
yeah, that's true. So
moving along. Did we talk about some of the benefits that we feel?
No, we haven't. So what are the benefits of marriage? So I was looking at some things earlier.
Well, why are you looking that up? I get to look at this space every morning.
That's a benefit.
I get to wake up to this space every
Yeah.
single morning.
I mean, you know what? It's a blessing sometimes. I do wake up and I'm grateful because I'm looking at you and I'm like, it takes me back to the time where I was trying to court you and pursue. And now it's like, okay, you're here. So I try to find a way
Every
to
single day.
every single day. I try to find a way to date you on a
You do.
daily, weekly basis. So the benefits I believe that you get for marrying is not having to look after yourself, better health, better financial situation, whether it's whatever that is. And believe it or not, marriage can help you beat bad habits.
That's really good.
Yep, it can help you beat bad habits. And then the other part that a lot of people don't think about is it's also easier to take care of kids and live longer because you have someone else in the trenches with you and you're not trying to do it all by yourself.
Yeah. And listen, two, it's usually better than one. I was going to say always, but no, because not in all situations, because some men are like children.
That's true. And if you're with the wrong one, it's not beneficial to stay in something just because you have a title.
That's true.
I'll just say that because you can become sick, you can become mentally sick, you can become emotionally sick. And that is a long healing process. It's longer for women than it is for men, but it's a healing process.
Not only that, I mean, to just put yourself in a toxic environment.
Yes, absolutely.
Just imagine that. Like you in a house with like mold and mildew.
And you're
everywhere.
breathing it.
You're breathing it in. And you know it's there, but you don't leave or you can't leave. And you're just, you're in that environment. That's what I compare it to.
Yeah, I mean, you choose not to get rid of it.
It's like mold everywhere, and you can't even get rid of it.
And you know what most people do? Because they don't. When you have to get rid of mold, you have to have a certain type of tool. You have to have a certain type of preparedness. So what most people do, they do when they're not equipped, they ignore it, or they just avoid it, or they act like it's not even there.
Yeah.
But here's what happens. When someone comes to visit and they come in your house
and they notice it and they point it out
and they just coughing, they're like, I'm sick. Like, and they leave out and they're like, oh my God, like that atmosphere is toxic.
Yes.
And that's what it feels like. Other people can come into a toxic environment and sense it, especially if you have a good spirit of discernment. You can sense a toxic environment like a mile away. So
yeah, but it is studies that show that people like men, especially who marry, they're healthier, they live longer than their single counterparts, and they make more money.
That is true. I said it publicly on Facebook that I made the most I've made in my career since I've been married. Since 2020, I've made the most monthly income, yearly income, and I've met all of the goals that, I set out. I wanted to make XYZ per month. And I feel like I've been extremely consistent at that. And
listen, God created women to be your helpmate.
Yes.
We are your helpmate, your backbone.
But the other part is, I feel like what God does with women unlocks the potential, and women unlock the it's like this powerful something that's inside of us that only you guys can bring out. And it's like having, it's like the essential piece of having a key to something, and all these people try to put the key in this hole, and you're like, well, I'm not unlocking that, and I'm not unlocking that, I'm not unlocking that. But then the right person comes along and it just appears, and it just happens.
And it fits.
It fits.
It works. The door opens.
Where you're weak at, I'm strong. Where I'm strong, where I'm weak at, you're strong. And I think that's the purpose of why we got married. is because of not the purpose, but I think that's the reason why we were able to, recognize that, we should be married. God put us together. So.
Absolutely. And to just make it official and to get married and not just say, hey, like, we are great together.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like cohabitate
Yeah.
together. It's like, no, we wanted to make it official. We wanted it to.
We didn't just need a Netflix partner, to lay and watch movies with. We truly do life.
Yeah.
Like, there's things you're trying to accomplish professionally that I'm able to help you do, and things in my business that I want to accomplish, you're able to help me see it differently, and we truly help each other and make each other better. Yeah. I'm able to connect with Keon in a way that you're not, and you're able to connect with Asher and Asa in a way that I'm not.
So what do you think for the people who choose not to get married because they're just like, well, we can still do that? Like,
so when
because let me just this disclaimer, I'm not knocking that. Like, I'm not knocking that. I just know what I wanted for me.
True. Yep.
And what I feel God wants for my life.
So I believe that most people, and I don't mind saying what I believe, because that's just, my belief. Mm-hmm. I believe that some people that don't choose to get married, it's a sense of fear. Mm-hmm. It's a fear of failure. It's a fear of I'm not sure. And also most of the time it's really just an aha moment of I'm not even sure that who I'm with, I'm ready to be married to them.
Yeah.
So they might not be ready to be married, but they also might not be ready to marry the person that they're with. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like they want to work on themselves. They want to get better. Yeah. They want to be better. And I think that's where some people are kind of just like, there's benefits in that, but there's also like disadvantages or challenges
right.
with not being able to have a legal partner.
Right.
If you get sick and you're in a hospital, that person can't help you make decisions because they're not legally your partner. Mm-hmm. Common law, I'm not sure that is still recognized in the medical field or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer, so disclaimer, I don't know. But from my experience, I don't believe you can make decisions. If something happens to someone, mm-hmm. you own a home or mm-hmm. If something happens to you and you have kids together, but you're not married, what happens? Even though you're that legal parent, what happens with assets? And
right.
It's just a lot of things that go into and benefits from being married. And sometimes when you don't take that step or, willing to make that official, you don't really know what those the challenges are until you go through it, unfortunately.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think
Absolutely. And I was always just the opposite. I'm like, after I hit you already know, when I hit my 1.5 to 2 year mark.
Yeah.
I think my first thought was, can I see myself with this person like long term? Like, can I like really see myself being married to them? And immediately it'd be like,
Yeah. If you can't see past a certain point in your life, if you feel like you're stuck in that particular point. Yeah.
Because I just felt like I was wasting my time. Like, why waste my time? But that's me personally. I felt like, I'm wasting my time. Why would I continue this relationship if I literally don't even feel like we're working towards being married?
Because my thing is, what are you working towards if that's not your goal? If your goal is just to have someone, that's cool. But I just believe there's so much more. There's so many more benefits in life that you get when there's something that God does when he blesses two to be married. That's
it right there.
God he just blesses you on a different level. Mm-hmm. And I believe that is like, that's the hit or miss for some people. They don't look at it from that perspective. So I think that's why a lot of people that are not or don't choose to, they're like, it's just a piece of paper. But I'm like, that piece of paper could be the the thing that changed your life.
Yeah. And I think what you said before, the fear. It's like the fear of commitment, the fear of failure.
Yeah,
Because
failure.
what if this does not work?
Or what if this doesn't work based on what I've seen in my parents' history?
That's true. Yeah.
Because some people could be looking at the fear of failure because that's what they know.
Yeah. And some don't actually have an example
Or no example at all. Yep.
a healthy marriage.
True.
And so they don't know how to create that.
That is true. Yeah. And I think that's the reason why, I'm not saying we're put here for this particular reason, but I believe, this particular platform in our podcast is to kind of give people a perspective of what marriage looks like on the good, bad, the ugly, but also the benefits and how God can bless a marriage and put you in a position where it's something that's long lasting. But most importantly, how to find the right one too, because we've talked about it in different episodes, dating and keeping it lit and all of those things. So I think we want to touch on all those points because it's, we really enjoy love and we enjoy inspiring others.
We do. Absolutely. And that doesn't mean, again, that it's perfect. It's
No.
still work. There are challenges.
You can inspire and still not be perfect.
Absolutely.
People do it all the time.
You can.
We see it on TV.
And you can talk about the stuff that you go through. I mean, you don't have to put
Right.
all your business
Right.
out there for the world to know. But I mean, respectfully, you can talk about like the challenges that you deal with because we all do.
Oh, yeah.
So
Recognizing that marriage has benefits, but it requires work.
it's compromise. It's being able to forgive.
And the most important one is communication.
The biggest one. Yes.
Yeah.
Communication.
I feel like forgiveness, compromise, and communication is a part of the work.
It is.
Work is a word, but communication is doing it. Being able to forgive and compromise is doing it. It's that every day getting your hands dirty and being able to say, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're right. Or, oh, I did that. Or how can I get better? Or, whatever that is. So
I feel like communication might be one of the top challenges that we have. I feel
It
like it
is.
was pretty easy to compromise. Like we both are really good at that.
yeah, because we're somewhat chameleons when it comes to like adapting.
Yeah.
So we
I
can
mean, it doesn't
compromise.
have to be my way. It's not my way or the highway. And for you overall, I mean, you have your things and I have my things,
Yeah.
but overall we can compromise. And it's not like,
We're not gonna
I have
beat
to
it
be in
with a dead
control or
horse.
you have to be in control. We pretty
Yeah.
much share the control in the relationship.
True.
So I think that was never like a huge challenge for us.
But we daily
It's
challenge
also
on communication.
Communication, because you have to learn to speak in that person's language. It's literally like you got to learn to speak Spanish.
German.
Yeah,
Russian, whatever.
A totally different language that it's not your native language that you're not used to.
True.
You have to learn that in marriage because what you say a lot of times is not what they hear at all.
That is true. I mean, you'll be saying out loud over and over,
And then
I said this, and I'm like,
and then you'll repeat it back and I'm like, that's not what I said.
right.
Is that what you heard? Because that's definitely not what I said. So let's talk about this.
Yeah. Communication.
Communication, very
It's-
important.
It's a huge one. It's a huge
Yeah.
one. So I think, those are our challenges, and our benefits are just being able to have the ability to kind of like grow together,
Yes.
see things start from like the infancy stage to, I said that right, infancy? Yeah, infancy. Yeah, infancy stage to, it's growing. It's something that is over time. It's not overnight.
Yeah.
So that's marriage, over time, but not overnight.
I love that. Yeah. But just seeing things manifest and how, you started out like literally like a baby, just like
That's true.
seeing a baby, like something birthed.
Yeah, like our baby of marriage will be
And
turning
it turns
2.
into like a toddler, and
Yeah.
it's like now you're walking, and now you're talking, and
I like
you're
that.
saying mama, and you're saying dada.
Yeah.
So to kind of see all that like come to fruition,
Mm-hmm.
and just like grow and develop,
And
that's a beautiful
and
thing.
I like that analogy because it's like the first year of marriage is equivalent of your first year of when you have your first baby.
Yeah,
They start walking, they start talking,
yeah,
and there's also a lot of challenges because they fall a lot. They're just
they want to get into
curious.
everything when they start walking. It's just like, no, I don't want you to hold me, put me down.
Right. And then year 2 is almost like the terrible twos because you're starting to tear away all this stuff that was new and you start really getting up under the character, i.e. the baby acting out, the husband acting out, or the wife needing XYZ, or the husband needing attention, whatever that is. Everything that could be terrible starts to expose itself. But
Yeah, because with the baby, like when they're that age, they're learning their personality.
that is true. We're learning our personality of our marriage.
Yes.
And I think that's
so
the
their
communication.
personality is being shaped.
Yeah, that's true. And that's where our communication has its challenges because we don't know what our marriage is supposed to sound like all the time. We know what we want it to be, but that's just one perspective. Yeah. It's a 2-person perspective. So, yeah, I like that analogy, babe. See, you dropped the analogy today. I love that.
Look, you are rubbing off on me.
See, but I just added
at
some
that.
substance to your analogy.
You did.
And broke it down.
Yes.
But I knew what you
I
meant
can
when you
always
said
count
it.
on you to come in and just take it away.
Hey, you was like, this is
Take
what it
that
is.
Away.
You set the pins up, I'm going to knock them down.
I love it.
So if you've been listening today, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about why did I get married? Why do couples get married? We talked about the benefits in our own view of, why did we get married? And what are the challenges and benefits of marriage? And most importantly, we learned that work is the most important thing, but communication is the cornerstone of marriage.
Absolutely.
But we can never end every episode. We can never end our episode without discussing or leaving you guys with something. So we're going to leave you with something nice and
I'm not going to leave you with that.
No, we're not going to leave you with that.
Wrong one.
We're going to leave you with this one. Lord Jesus. I love it. So marriage is the cornerstone of a stable society. So
A happy marriage is the union of two good forgivers.
marriage, love is the reason. Lifelong friendship is the gift. Kindness is the cause. Till death do us part is the length.
And marriages are like fingerprints. Each one is different and each one is beautiful.
Happily ever after is not a fairy tale. It's a choice.
Marriage is the alliance of two people, one of whom never remembers birthdays and the other who never forgets them.
The difference between an ordinary marriage and an extraordinary marriage is in the giving just a little extra every day, as often as possible, for as long as we both shall live. I do.
I do. Forever.
And we did. Forever.
We did.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been listening to episode 9, we have one episode left in this season. But we want to also thank you so much for listening, subscribing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And let them know where to find us, babe.
We are on Instagram at All We Do Is Winston. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, All We Do Is Winston. Episodes 1 through 10, if you have not checked them out, make sure you tune in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening.
And share this with somebody. And most importantly, we are here just being a vessel, and we're open and we're honest. And at the end of the day, we're not perfect. So we thank you.
what do I really want for myself?
Because you brought things to the table that I never thought that I could get out of a relationship.
We keep it real over here.
Yeah. What do you believe the purpose of marriage is? Welcome to Pillow Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
With the
Winstons. Hey. Hey guys, it's Kev
And Delana
with Pillow Talk with the Winstons.
So guys, we just wanted to take a moment to personally thank each and every person that has reached out to us, that has supported us, that has liked our page,
Yes.
that has sent messages saying how much this podcast has impacted them. So thank you from us
guys.
both.
Thank you. So we just want to make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel because that is such a great way to say thank you. And we appreciate your support. So if you support us.
So much for your support, you guys.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us if you want to connect with us. We're on Instagram at All We Do Is Winston.
Yes, indeed.
And yeah, let us know if there's any topics that you guys want to hear. Shoot us a message. Let us know.
And we appreciate y'all.